Dragonfly, kick the mage.
Previously on Fun City, the team agrees to work with NYPD Incorporated Police Benevolence Association bureaucrat Vern Solex in return for any info he has on mysterious experiments that biotech megacorp Evo is performing on officers. Vern's ask? Head to Morgantown, a floating city in the Brooklyn archipelago, and stop an anti-corporate lawyer, Odina Lulach, from causing him grief over his planned police strike. But the team takes a shine to Odina, and they make an arrangement to work both sides. Whatever info they get from Vern, Odina will help them put to use, as long as nothing too illegal happens. This arrangement forces their hand when they're confronted by Mo Ashina's B team, who wants Vern's biometric data, currently possessed by TK, so they can complete the frame job. But the Fun City crew can't hand it over, as they'd spoil their deal with Vern and Odina all at once. So it would seem the only way out is through. This episode of Fun City contains the use of firearms and 2 scenes of very gruesome violence. We are now in initiative. Everybody, please roll.
I got 11.
They've got 11 as well.
Yep, I got 8.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys don't know their names, but I'm going to say them out loud.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
What is Kit Kat's initiative?
13.
Kit Kat is the dwarf with all the guns.
Oh my God.
Too many.
What is Dragonfly's initiative?
Dragonfly's a 10.
Dragonfly is the wizard. What is Dish's initiative?
Dish is 12.
Dish is the woman with the very abrasive accent.
She's the samurai.
She mean girl?
Shade.
Sunshine is the mean
Sunshine's
girl, and
mean girl.
Sunshine got a 7.
Dish is the street samurai hype beast.
Right, that's right.
Sunshine is going fucking down.
Yeah, tell us how you're feeling about Sunshine at this moment, Lash.
The fact that Sunshine wants to take one of the attributes I'm most proud of and try to twist it into something negative is so fucked up.
We're talking about your thighs?
Yeah. Lash freaking loves her thighs. Thighs are like the trunk of the body. It's where you
Heard
get...
it here first, folks.
Thighs are like the powerhouse of the body.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. TK is also very proud of his thighs.
Wait, what's the powerhouse of the cell again?
The
The
mitochondria.
mitochondria. There
Are
we
the
go.
thighs the mitochondria of the body? Is that
there
what we're
we
saying?
go.
The thighs are the mitochondria of the body.
Yeah, we know.
Kit Kat very calmly reaches back behind him, pulls the shotgun out from his back holster, levels it right at TK's head, and says, "You're going to stand still there. How about that?"
TK doesn't reply.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it for Kit Kat.
Wow, that's a bold move. All right. Dish acts next.
Dish leaps down off the container, and Naruto runs with her swords right behind TK and Lash, and just puts the sword, the tip of it, on TK's shoulder and says, "Oh, you're gonna make like a statue now, ain't you?"
TK just turns and looks at her, and then looks back at the other guy. Just stone-faced. Nothing is on his face.
And then she looks at Lash and says, "Oh, you two, not be moving."
God.
The next person to act is Viv. Viv, are you on the ground?
Yeah, I'm on the skimmer. I've just been knocked. The wind has been knocked out of me, basically.
Yeah, but you fell. You have fallen.
Forward.
Yeah, okay.
Fell forward.
Okay. Just to be clear, do you have to stand up?
No,
Okay.
I do not.
Okay.
And that's perfect because while Viv is still recovering, she still has a lot of mental fortitude. So all she has to do is look up. She looks straight at Dish and casts control actions. But because I have a wound modifier, I have a negative. So I'm only rolling 11 on spell casting. Only rolling 11.
Only 11.
Just kidding. She got 3 hits at a force of 4.
No hits for Dish.
That means you get to control her for 3 things? No.
It doesn't work like spirit services.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just that
Right.
the spell is successful, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, Viv basically gets to puppet Dish. This is a sustained spell, which means anything else you do, you get a -2 penalty. Oh no, you do not.
I do not, because I have forced concentration.
You have a special quality that makes it so that you do not take a penalty while you are sustaining a spell. This is a spell that you have to keep running in order to continue using it. Every turn, Dish gets to roll logic plus willpower minus the force of the spell.
Which was 4.
Every hit you get, you reduce it by 1, and when you get to 0, you have resisted it.
So Viv is on the ground. She casts control actions and locks her eyes on Dish. And she reaches a hand out and just starts to close her fingers a little bit. And she says, "I shall be your feet. I shall be the breath of your lungs. Don't forget to breathe." And she makes Dish hold her breath a little bit.
Fucking hell.
That's all she says. And she just has her hand held out. And that's her turn.
She controls her fucking brainstem.
Bruh. Don't cross Viv.
Never.
Everyone around the table is legitimately upset.
Yeah.
In the best way.
I mean, like, at least it's not at us.
Yeah, I think in all of these moments, the entire team just remembers, like, oh yeah, every day we spend the company with a woman who could completely destroy us.
And not in just one way, many different
Many
ways.
ways.
And we just trust her.
Yeah.
We love her.
The next person to act is Lash.
So Lash is pretty upset about this Decker's comment to her. She's still thinking about it. I mean, things roll off her back pretty much all the time. But this, for some reason, was so mean. She's not used to people who are new to be so mean and personal. She takes a look at this Decker. She doesn't know her name yet, right?
Mm-mm.
What does she look like?
She's wearing a long black trench coat and under it a black Kevlar vest. Tactical, but still kind of baggy, lots of pocket pants. She's got dark wraparound sunglasses and a sharp, extremely severe Anna Wintour style black bob.
And I think you had mentioned that she also has a big scar across one side of her face.
She indeed does.
Assuming you can see her cyber eye.
Yeah, and you can. Yeah, I think you had said that you can see a little bright light behind it.
Is she chewing gum, or is that something else she's chewing?
She's chewing gum, and she's also covered in guns.
She takes a look at her and she decides that she is going to thread editor on this woman's deck. What I want to do is I want to thread editor at a pretty high level because I want to make her home screen. I want to turn her home screen into just Hungarian. Because I know a Hungarian and I want to just fuck with her. So I'm just going to change all her controls into Hungarian.
So that she just can't use.
So she's just, it's like, she can't use it. Because everything's going to be in Hungarian.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, fucking
That
hell
rules.
yeah.
I
That
like
rules.
literally,
I got a device rating of 4, so come get it.
I literally would never have thought.
Yeah, look.
So I'm going to cast this at a level of 6 because I'm going to really try. I'm really pissed. So I roll software plus resonance with the limit being my level, and you roll an intuition plus data processing. I got 3 hits.
I got 2 hits.
Great.
You're successful.
I have to roll so much fade. This is the thing about a technical. My fade value is level plus 2. I did it at 6.
So you have to roll against 8.
Why did I pick 6?
Because you were mad.
Because you were mad.
But where does 6 come into play?
It is the number of successes that you can get.
Oh.
It becomes your limit.
I agree.
Right. Like, why did I roll so many? I just kind of just said 6. I was like, I think this is beneficial.
Yeah.
To resist these 8 fade values, I roll resonance plus willpower, which is 6.
I don't think we've actually had to explain this yet. Fade is the technomancer version of Drain. So a technomancer is a character that is able to bend the atoms of the matrix to their will and make them do whatever they want. And that takes a lot of psychokinetic force. And Fade is the representation of them getting tired from doing that.
I took 4 damage. That's stun damage, and I am down to, I have a lot of stun damage.
So what's your wound modifier?
Right now it's at 2.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
But you
like-
were successful.
let's look on the bright side and let's talk about how Lash is feeling and what this looks like to her.
Lash has her eyes directly at this Decker. She's looking straight in her eyes, and she's literally in her matrix form, using her legs to pound soccer balls directly at this Decker's face. So much so that this Decker's deck is now completely in Hungarian, not just straight Hungarian. She's using like Hungarian slang. So even she could have just made it nonsense, but she decided to have a little bit of purpose to it.
It's like Hungarian street slang?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Hungarian street slang. I mean, she has a pretty high skill in Hungarian. So she's taking all this energy just basically to really mess with her deck in a very frustrating way because she feels very frustrated by the comments.
You're in the kind of endless plane of the Matrix doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Does your living persona, your representation of you on the Matrix, just look like a Lash?
Yeah, she looks like a Lash, but even more buff, if that makes sense.
It's hard to imagine, but I'll try.
And she's wearing her urban brawl uniform.
Like that, the pads and the spikes and the. All right. Sunshine, what's this like for you?
Sunshine is looking down at her deck and goes, "Oh God, that's not Spanish." And she puts her deck in her pocket and she unslings her FNP 93 Praetor submachine gun that looks like an extremely like svelte and notched futuristic sort of gun thing and just screams, "It's a crime to own me." And she begins to walk forward.
So she does not turn into a corn cob, is what you're saying.
She's not a
No,
corn cob.
no one has owned Sunshine.
I'm glad I put their deck in Hungarian.
The next person to act is Dragonfly. I picture Dragonfly kind of looks a little bit like a super future elfie Adam Rappaport from, if you guys watch the Bon Appetit YouTube videos.
I don't know what that means. So I'll tell you what he looks like and what he's wearing.
I get it.
Dragonfly is like a lightly blue-skinned elf. You know, he's aging. You can see some silver at the temples. His ears are particularly long and pointy. And he's, got a long, straight mop of silver hair. He's wearing like a sort of velveteen velour suit that looks almost like a 1960s throwback to a Victorian English wear. And it's this dark purple iridescent color that you can tell is definitely meant to be octarine, the color of magic. This is like wearing the shirt of the band to the concert of the band. Only he's doing it in velvet with long, like frilly sort of sleeves hopping out, like poking out of the ends. He's got a little bit of a cape on.
This is David Bowie's brother from The Labyrinth.
We gotta
All
do
right, deal.
Oh, boy.
You've made quite a mistake not looking for me.
Jesus Christ.
And Dragonfly continues to walk towards Viv on the boat, and he casts another spell. Viv, you can go ahead and to dodge this, you can roll a reaction plus intuition. And I think you're going to be taking a -1 because you're prone. She's face down in a boat like a fish who's just been caught.
She's just looking up and she's reaching up, yeah.
He's walking towards the boat very calmly and says, "Hey everybody, great news. There's flounder on the menu tonight." He puts his hand out in a very just flamboyantly, like a stage magician style, and a fucking river of magical flame rockets from his palm onto Viv lying on the boat. Oh, I hit my limit. First time I've ever done that. 5 hits.
Man.
Uh-oh.
6 hits, but was a force of 5.
Boy,
She rolled 2 hits.
Ruh-roh.
So, Viv, you take 3 physical damage.
Oof.
That's not so bad. I mean,
Thanks.
I just did something to myself and gave myself 4 stun damage.
Dragonfly does damage equal to the number of net hits and also does flame damage. So if there is anything on you that is flammable, it is likely to be destroyed.
Say goodbye to that moo-moo love.
Oh.
And Taylor, just resist drain for Dragonfly.
No drain at all. I'm as fresh as a daisy.
I'm just picturing his cuffs like flopping around.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are. They are Austin Power cuffs.
His suit is way too big for him. Yeah.
Is it very frilly? Do we have a lot of fringe
I
and
think
frills?
that's how I'm picturing
Yeah,
it.
I'm picturing like what we do in the shadows type. Fucking
Yeah.
like
Yes. Think about
elaborate.
the bassist for Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Did you
Sure.
just make that up?
I'm 60 years old. Avocado toast, Trump. I'm a boomer. I don't know. No one else has been looking at pictures of psychedelic
dude.
hippie bands from the 60s.
Viv, you're on fire.
Yes.
Since it is magical fire, it will go out at the end of the turn, but you still are on fire, which means that if you have flammable things on you, bye-bye.
So Viv was already laying down with her hand out, and she still doesn't want to break her concentration, but she stands up quickly and is kind of like hot dancing, and her trodes fall from underneath the burning caftan, and the kelp is tangled around her one leg, but she's still maintaining eye contact on Dish as she like tries to rip off the pieces of the caftan, and she's standing there in a bathing suit.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
She had a bathing suit underneath her caftan this whole time because she's ready to swim at any moment. But the stuff that she had been hiding under her caftan have fallen out because that's where she usually keeps everything. And she still has a one battle axe strapped to her back.
Dragonfly looks at the camera and says, hot.
Oh, God.
Looks
And-
into the camera.
She's making hand motions like she wants to tighten her hand, but she's still staring at Dish.
Do you feel like this was enough damage that it would warrant you doing a willpower test with a low threshold to see if you can continue concentrating on keeping the spell going with Dish?
Sure.
There's a lot going on, and I kind of maybe want to check and see whether or not Viv is able to keep her concentration.
Sure.
How does
I roll willpower?
Yeah, just roll your willpower. How does a 2 success threshold sound?
She rolled 2 hits.
Okay, so you successfully continue to control Dish's actions.
God, you're like the Terminator. The magical flames dissipate, and still you're just the T-2000 staring right down the damn line.
Next person to act is TK.
I've heard of pressure under fire, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, shut your mouth.
TK, you currently have
There's a gun in my face, right?
a gun in your face and
Sword.
a sword on your shoulder.
Yeah.
You do not necessarily know that person's mind is being controlled by a teammate.
Right,
so.
right. I think TK is just gonna try and punch this guy. I think he's like, because he's really close, right? If he's like, haven't you gotten very close? Are you?
You
Yeah,
tell me.
I'm a shotgun like the way.
Yeah, but that's a differing range of things.
This is a
right?
sawed-off shotgun.
So like how close?
Probably
Sawed-off shotgun,
2
like.
2 feet.
2 feet?
Maybe. I mean, because he's short.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Maybe 3.
what TK is going to do. I think I don't know if this is gonna work.
You will quite literally be punching down.
Yes, I think he's going to. I think he's gonna.
you canceled DK.
He's gonna try and punch the gun out of this guy's hand.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
Are you sure
mean-
you don't want to try making his gun Hungarian?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I thought the other thing I've thought about is I could do the Berserker's Rage thing. I could do the Elemental Body, but that's all that all takes one turn to do.
Better to just make an action.
Well, if there's a
Because-
gun, on me,
Right,
right?
because
Like-
then you could put on Elemental Body, and then
But
he's
then he'd
like,
shoot me,
okay,
yeah.
shoot you. Yeah.
Yeah. TK standing still, there's a gun in his face from a short man who's like, he's looking down at him and he's just like stone faced. In this situation, TK would try and just punch the gun out of this guy's hand and try and like break his wrist in the process. I think TK is like incensed, but will not he's not showing any anger. I think that's a called shot. Is that what we're doing?
So you're gonna. So are you gonna?
Can I call the shot? Can I aim at the wrist?
Yeah. So you're gonna aim for his wrist.
Yes.
You want to break his wrist.
I want to. Yes, I want to do that.
Yeah. In Shadowrun, you can call a shot. You get a -4 dice penalty. But if you are successful, basically whatever you describe happens.
I guess I'm trading 9 dice for 5.
And then he's still gonna roll to dodge,
Yeah.
so he gets his reaction plus his intuition.
So let's hope I roll well.
Are you rolling your cyber arm or your other arm?
I think I'm gonna roll my other arm, the non-cyber arm, because
He's still a boxer.
Right.
he's still a boxer, and like he actually punches better with. Oh my god, he also punches better with his other arm.
You
But I
gotta
don't think-
feel it. You gotta feel it.
I hope this works. Oh, didn't work. 2 hits.
How many hits did Kit Kat get?
He rolled limit.
5.
Oh no!
Ay, ay, ay.
Tell me what happens.
TK swings for Kit Kat's shotgun, and as if he knew it was coming minutes ago, Kit Kat just moves it 4 inches down, and the punch sails, and it just misses anything.
Great.
Kit Kat gets a little bit closer, and he says, "You're punching above your weight there, String Bean."
This team has nasty burns.
Oh man.
Nasty burns.
Nasty.
I think. Oh yeah.
Wait,
okay.
so
all right. Yeah.
in the motion of that, isn't Dish's sword previously by his neck? So I guess
Shoulder.
or shoulder. So I guess as TK moves, the sword doesn't move. Also, right?
Yeah, the sword because if you're holding Dish in place.
I don't know if anyone notices that.
Yeah. Okay.
Lux.
Go,
All right, Lux, let's
Lux,
go. You got some spells, or you got some big old guns or something? Pull out here. Come on. So far, we've controlled someone. I've made someone's deck Hungarian. TK has again punched to no avail.
Yeah, never calling my shots again. Just never doing that again.
Lux looks around at a scene that has unfolded yet again, in which a fight breaks out and no one, not even just a little intern, is worried about Lux at all. They've bypassed him to go and attack a mage twice. It's almost like he's not even there. He just knows, clearer than anything else, that they could not be less worried about about Lux. And he's got half a mind to just pepper spray this guy in the face, but he swallows his pride and he walks very casually without anyone looking at him or even wondering, hey, where's that guy? He reaches under his coat, grabs his level 4 med kit, walks over to Viv, and heals.
Thank you.
So nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
So this is only going to apply to the physical damage, right? Not the drain damage.
Yes.
Good. I have one level 4 med kit on me and one level 3, so I roll 11 dice on my level 4. He almost is just like a ref in this game.
He's bringing in the orange slices.
So I got 5 hits, so she gets 5 box of healing.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So what this looks like is Viv is on the ground, and
Oh, she's standing up now.
oh, you're okay. You're gonna might have to get on the ground. So basically,
You have to be on the ground.
well, the med kit's like a doctor robot in a box.
Right. So the levels are different. This one's sort of like a small briefcase. He's got it attached to his back, like underneath his coat. This one is the bigger one. The other one, level 3, is on his leg. This one he pulls out, and you pop it out. There's a couple of components that come out. One of them is kind of just like a floating drone. It doesn't look like it can be flying, but it is. It's got some lights on it and things like that. You know, it automatically detects different states that you're in terms of trauma. It can tell that you have been burned. It could tell that you've had some basic, sort of trauma from the stun bolt and things like that. It sprays you with a nice cooling cucumber mist, which is nice. Gets rid of some of the burns.
Portable spa day.
Yes. I don't think she needs to be. It doesn't say you need to be laying down
Great.
for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
you
if it did, yeah.
you
then-
described a thing that was compelling and
Yeah.
cool, so sounds good.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Viv is still concentrating, but can manage to just utter quietly, burning,
I got you, Viv.
burning.
Quick comm to Gabe. Yeah, we're going to need it.
He immediately initiates a voice call, and you hear a bunch of clanking and whirring in the background. And Gabe is sort of far away from his phone, like he's got you on speakerphone, and you hear him from a distance, and he goes,
It's gonna be a few minutes. I'm going as fast as I can. I'm trying to pull together a bunch of things around the ship. I'll get as soon as I can. Are you guys gonna make it?
Viv groans.
I don't know.
It doesn't.
We're gonna try.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm not near my comm, but it doesn't sound too bad.
It's not good.
the next person to act is Sunshine.
Why don't you just give me an action? I'll do enough damage.
Oh, fighting words.
Don't do Sunshine's work for her.
My action is that I let Lash hack me again.
That is something that you.
I want to make sure the snacks are reading.
They definitely are.
It's so bad.
Oh, you guys, I love it. All right, you need to make an opposed test that's reaction and intuition.
2 hits.
Oh, I also got 2 hits.
I'm going to say it's a grazing hit.
Okay, Sunshine is just walking forward, dead towards you, and she has that bullpup submachine gun right in front of her and just pop, 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 pop. She's going right for you. Almost lackadaisically.
Lash is not fazed by this at all.
Still with the steely gaze.
This is the thing about Lash is like it takes a lot for her to be afraid of anything. One of her qualities is guts. So she sees her go and begin the shot, and she already starts to smirk because she can tell by her eye line that it's not going to hit her because she has really good spatial awareness. from years of being an athlete. And she knows how to aim something. She knows that it's not going to hit her. As she sees her put her hand on the trigger, she whispers under her breath, oh, I got to think of a good line.
I'm sorry, Shannon. I'm going to keep that in.
yeah, exactly. She whispers under her breath, wish you had thick thighs now, don't you? Lash is not good at this.
Are you saying something? Stand still. Hey, Jen de la Vega.
Hey,
What's your favorite thing about our Patreon?
I like that we have a Discord.
Yes, the Discord is also my favorite thing. Did you know that also, if you sign up for the Patreon, you also can get all the music and like high quality audio that we record and that
All
Mike
those
produces?
files and doodads and things.
Yeah, it's files and doodads from here to the horizon.
I'm gonna make a remix.
There's a new thing. There's a new thing. Did you know our patrons are going to have access to our book club?
We have a book club?
We do now, baby. Do you know what book we're doing first?
No.
Neuromancer. The sky over Hong Kong was the color of a TV with a HDMI cable unplugged or something. I don't know. It's a very famous first line.
Classic.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it
Classic.
before.
I'm
You heard
lying, I read it.
it? Yeah, I'm a patron. Are you a patron?
I am a patron.
Oh, we're all patrons here. Join the club. Get your head in the game. Same time.
Patreon.com/FunCityVentures.
Hey.
Wait, is that
Yes.
forward slash?
Bijan was here the whole time?
John!
Kit Kat.
Can Kit Kat tell that Dish has been controlled action?
I would let him roll logic for it, but he's going to have to get 4 because I think it would be very, very difficult, especially in the heat of battle, for him to have noticed the very small tells.
Kit Kat is oblivious to the magical mental state of his compatriot Dish. And so he says, Dish, you watch him. I gotta go sweep up. He turns and he begins running towards Viv.
So he's basically breaking through this tiny group that he's in. He's going around them towards Viv.
Yeah, he wants Dish to look after TK. Swords is gonna keep him there. TK's been put in his place. They don't want to kill TK. TK's the one that's got the data.
Because you're in a tight grouping, I'm going to ask you to roll agility to avoid being basically swiped at as you're trying to leave.
By TK?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I think this is like in D&D, you would call this an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
You know, you're trying to leave a fray. You are no longer an aggressor. You are fleeing. If you roll lower than 3, then TK is going to get a chance to get a swipe at you.
TK gets a chance to take a swipe at me.
Something he's always wanted.
TK can punch again.
Kick and punch
Very.
again.
I mean, look, he's gonna just roll just a regular punch. It's I think that's 9. I'm gonna say that's 9 dice.
So the odds of TK landing the first punch ever right now is so cosmically low. I feel very confident in Kit Kat's decision to let his guard down for a moment.
3 hits.
Do you want to roll your reaction plus your intuition?
Oh, just one hit.
TK connects.
Yes! TK can
He's just like,
TK.
like so he takes his and he sees this fucker, this short man running, and just tries to like punch the back of his head. Because you're like he's off balance already, right, from the earlier swing and miss.
He's basically, it's just like an angry swipe.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you something?
What?
You don't know that Dish with the swords at your back has been
but he's just
changed by your magician friend.
But he's so mad at what you just said to him that it doesn't even register.
Well, he did it earlier too. What was he mad about then?
You pointed a gun in his face.
All right.
I think it's fair.
This is the problem with fighting with dummies. You don't know what they're gonna do.
I guess I don't. I guess he'd probably use his other arm this time. So it's probably his metal arm, which is like 6p. I guess is the damage value of that.
So add your net hits to the
So that's
base damage value,
2
and then
plus 6, which is 8.
and then
which I
you
guess-
roll your body
yeah.
plus armor.
Yeah, so he's just aiming at the back of his head because like he's off balance and this guy's running, so he turns around and just swings at him.
Am I wearing any armor?
I believe I said earlier today, actually, when I was putting everybody's character sheets finally together for the B team, I was like, ooh, Kit Kat's going to be hard to hit.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's.
To be fair, he's dressed like someone who only buys their clothes at the Bass Pro.
Jesus Christ. It's going to be a grazing hit at best. That's already
I'm only
3.
seeing 3 hits.
Yeah, and you have 6 plus.
8.
So he rolled his body and his armor and he got 3 hits. 17 die.
Wow.
3 hits.
How is that? Okay.
TK, you did 5 damage.
Yeah, that's all physical.
What?
That's,
Right? Isn't that-
that's physical damage, too.
Nice, TK. Punches rule in this game.
No, punches are bad.
It's a punching
He just
game.
rolled shitty.
It's a
I don't know. I
punching
mean,
game.
like, that's just like, I guess what happens is he just knocks the shit out of the back of his head. And this, I don't know what this guy does, but I assume he falls down.
Kit Kat is no longer running towards Viv. He turns back around with his gun and engages with TK.
The next person to act is Dish. Dish's turn is just her trying to resist Viv's control action spell.
Oh, get out of me head. Oh, get out of me brain box.
This is happening out loud.
Oh, no. it's like I'm in a lorry and I can't reach the steering wheel.
As of this moment, Dish has been holding her breath for 6 seconds.
Like, what do we do?
Are you trying to kill her by making her hold her breath?
Does Dish take stun damage as she holds her breath?
A Shadowrunner in general in the game can hold for 48 seconds,
Okay.
which is forever, which is why
Yeah.
that is not something I'm after.
Okay, got it. Definitely going to put some reverb on Dish's voice in post to indicate that she is stuck in her own brain.
No, she can speak.
I mean, I'm trapped in the Imaginarium. It's like a big library. There's only 2 books on the shelves.
But what does it sound like if you're also holding your breath?
Yeah.
It's yeah, that. Yeah, I can't grunt in an accent. So she can speak, but she can't move. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So she can call out.
She can say, yeah.
Oh, holy shit!
Are you really holding her breath? Because I feel like if you really are holding it, if you have
can't
control of those
Yeah, you
muscles,
can't-
then it's really smart that you did that so she couldn't inform her things. But
Talk a little,
Yeah.
but air is going out, but not in. Air is going
my
out,
gosh,
but not
this
in.
I don't know why you are. Why?
What does the text say? What does the canon text say?
This is
That's
exactly what
what's
it
most
says.
important.
A little talking, air can go out, but not in.
There's
I
about
don't know.
50 pages on this if you control an action and you hold the breath.
But is it in the core rulebook or like one of the other ones?
It's
It's
a whole-
definitely in one of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a whole book.
it's called
I
breath
don't know.
control.
All
Yeah.
right.
If Dish can talk, she's gonna call out to Kit Kat and tell him she can't move. But if she can't, she can't. So I need to know what the rules on the spell
Oh.
are.
I mean, I don't know. I don't care about the rules. I'm going to say, what do you guys as human beings around the table feel about someone talking
I mean-
while they're holding their breath?
You can talk, but not very loudly. That's
Right.
like, I assume that would be like the compromise.
I would think that she's not going to be able to like tell everyone, like the people who
Yeah.
are far away, but yeah.
In addition to your willpower roll,
Yeah.
roll body, and if you get, let's say, 3, you can say something that's loud enough that Kit Kat can hear it.
Her face is beginning to turn blue. The veins in her neck, already tight and muscly and wiry, are now beginning to pop out even more. And she's realizing that she's been mind controlled. She's realizing that her actions
Action
are
controlled.
Okay, all right. She's realizing that her actions are being controlled, and she turns and she tries to hit TK with the sword, and she can't. And she looks at Kit Kat right when Kit Kat gets his head banged, and she tries to say something, and she can't. And Kit Kat turns the other way with his back towards her and his gun on TK. None the wiser.
Viv,
She sees the scuffle that's happening, and she's thankfully still holding her concentration. She lowers her arm so that Dish can breathe, and that frees her up to do something else. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I make Dish act, we use my skill set. Luckily, Viv has blade skill.
hell yeah.
Oh no.
Viv has a dice pool of 7 agility and blade skill. She wants Dish to move her arm away from where TK's neck was, and she wants her to turn around toward Kit Kat.
And is she going to turn towards Kit Kat, or is she going to try to stab Kit Kat?
Are they close enough?
TK, Dish, and Kit Kat are all within striking distance of each other.
Because Viv understands that Dish is like the sword expert, she has faith that she can like land a hit on Kit Kat. Viv also pantomimes the action, which is swiping her arm across the air so that the puppet will know what to do.
As you do this, you see Dish move elegantly and fluidly about 20 feet away from you. Roll it up for me. You're just gonna roll your blade skill.
My blade skill. So
And-
that is 3 hits.
And Kit Kat is going to roll reaction plus intuition.
Ooh, that's a 3. 3 hits.
Grazing hit.
Viv is like a little far away and she's still standing on a boat, so just like how she was trying to control the fire dog, it takes like a little bit of driver's training to get into puppeting people. So she makes a swipe, but she can see the air move around Kit Kat's head. Damn.
Kit Kat sees it and feels it.
I would say, yeah, like this
Yeah.
is, his partner has just almost given him a haircut.
Yeah, his training is kicking in. He looks at Dish, he looks at TK, and he reaches back with his left hand and pulls out the other shotgun. And now he's got a shotgun on each of them. And for the first time, his eyes grow wide, and you can tell by the look on his face, he might have lost control.
Lash.
Where is Dragonfly is the mage, and where's Dragonfly?
Dragonfly is slightly behind you, between you and Viv.
So I am going to blow a narco jet.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to use your blowgun. Your
I'm gonna
blowgun.
blow-
I'm
My
so
blowgun.
proud.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually use my blowgun. Have I used it before?
I don't think so.
You took it out and then figured out you can't use it.
Yeah, but then
And
I
then
never
TK
did.
punched a guy.
Yeah, this is your...
Okay, so
I
I'm
finally
gonna.
punched a guy. Like
Good
I'm,
job.
TK's very happy, but
I'm
he's
so proud of you.
He's feeling pleased.
So I'm finally gonna use my narco jets. I have my exotic weapon skill of 1, and then that's plus agility. So I have 6, so that's 7.
I also definitely imagine this as when a magician like pulls a cane out of their jacket. Like,
It's really big. So I'm gonna roll my exotic weapon skill. Okay. I glitched.
It's in the way.
Oh my God.
Fucking
Lash,
way.
really?
What's the chances? I got 1 hit and I glitched. It says when you glitch, it says Audrek.
Now, I'm not a game master, but I think if somebody's using a blowgun and they glitch, there's only one way they can glitch.
Yes. There's only one way.
Reek Jones is a storied instructor of the blowgun. The tri-state area is rife with students of his who praise him, put his instruction to great use, and unfortunately, you just didn't take the right lessons. Maybe you weren't focusing on the horizon as he suggested. Maybe you weren't breathing from your diaphragm. But the blowgun, as you're exhaling forcefully through it, shifts ever so slightly, millimeters at your end, but enough to send the dart careening in a completely different direction. Viv, if you could please roll reaction plus intuition to dodge a blow dart that your teammate has
Oh no!
has sent at you, and if you could please take in addition to any wound modifiers you have, a -2 penalty because this is a surprise.
It's 1 hit.
Oh boy.
So, what is the damage value of Narcojet?
The power is 15.
Oh my god.
Just undid the health kit, the med kit that we just
Yeah.
had.
I think you just killed Viv.
Good night, Irene.
It's stun damage though.
But that
I already had.
Well, she's gonna
Yeah.
resist it. So, okay.
I think so, right? It says power 15.
Yep. And what are the effects? Just stun
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
She had 1 hit when she rolled and glitched, and she had 1 defense. Why is that not a grazing hit?
Oh, I thought you had 2.
1 hit.
Oh, but she glitched.
But I glitched.
Yeah, so that's
it
fine.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's think through this. Let's say that it's at, you don't get a full dose of it. You get 2/3 of a dose. 10 total.
Oh boy, I can't believe I made Viv's gonna be so mad at me.
So,
10 what? What is it?
So it's just stun damage. So please roll body plus willpower.
That's a dice pool of 10 for me. 2 hits.
You take 8 stun damage.
That means I'm at a total of 10 of my 11, everyone.
Okay, but you're not knocked out.
No, yeah, you're not knocked down. You remain standing.
Now I have a wound modifier of -3.
Really knocks the wind out of you.
Lash!
Oh no. I was supposed to stay planted on my left foot, not my right foot.
Good Lord!
I leaned the wrong way.
Oh, by Poseidon's crown.
We flash back to Lash exiting the Rick Jones Academy for the Blow Dart Sciences. And there's a big, beautiful bronze statue of Rick Jones. And in each hand, he's got a different kind of blowgun. And all the friends are like, hey, come on, let's go read the plaque at his feet. And Lash is like,
Nah, I think I gotta go.
Camera pushes it on the plaque, and it's like, one must always stand on the right foot with the left foot forward. That is the blowgun of Rick Jones' way.
That's exactly what happened. Sad.
Reroll initiative. Dragonfly acts first.
Dragonfly is still walking at a sort of leisurely pace towards the boat and towards Viv. And he has watched her be healed. He has watched her manipulate some sort of magical force that she's using. He has watched a dart hit her, fly past his head. Fly past, he felt the dart go by, saw it hit the elf mage, turned around and saw an orc just being like, God, come on, you can do better than this. So he looks and he sees the dart hit and he sees Viv's eyes sort of droop and he says, all right, let's wrap this up. I've got improv class at 6:30. And he pulls up his hands and he focuses all of his attention on a 5-foot radius around Viv. And right at Viv's chest, he puts his fingers together and he psychokinetic force.
Oof.
All right, so Viv, to dodge, this is going to be reaction plus intuition.
She got 2 hits.
Rock and roll.
That's too many dice.
I think the force of 6 is appropriate here.
Oh boy.
Dirty dog.
That's not
No,
good.
just 3 hits.
Oh, is that all?
Still, it beats true.
That's 3 hits.
So you got a net hit of 1.
Net hit of 1.
Of 1 what?
Stun.
Oof. I have filled my boxes, everyone.
This is a blast of psychokinetic force centered on you with a 5-foot radius around you.
Does it have an area effect?
Yes, it is an area effect spell.
Oh, I have to roll as well.
So you might also, so you also have to roll.
I believe that Luxe is still standing near me with the med kit.
So Lux, I think you also have to roll reaction plus intuition to dodge. What does this look like?
It is invisible, but it sounds like a thunderclap going off a foot away from your face, Lux.
I rolled 3.
Oof.
Grazing hit. So I think you are, let's just say that you get knocked down. You don't get hurt, but the force is strong enough that you sort of lose your balance, you stumble a little bit, and you fall onto your back a couple feet away.
Okay.
Actually, line of sight spells their area cause a -2 penalty to dodge.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
So I should
should've-
re-roll?
I should roll.
No, let's not re-roll those. Let's just do it right
Okay.
from now on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
It's fine. Now we know. Yeah, what is this? What does
What
this,
happens to me?
Yeah, does this have a look to it? Yeah.
I think Lux is like pushed back a little bit and sort of shuffles, but Viv is thrown off her feet and is unconscious in the air. Question is, does she land on the boat or does she land in the water?
I don't know if she's. Oh, you're not unconscious.
I filled the boxes, but
she
I'm
filled
not.
the stun boxes.
You don't go unconscious when you fill your stun boxes.
It's when you go
Aw,
over.
damn it.
You start taking now stun damage as physical damage, and then when all of your tracks are full, you are unconscious and bleeding out.
Damn it. I thought I was going to knock her
You
out.
can knock someone over if you do 10 damage in one go.
Oh, yeah.
But you are not unconscious until you until you've
Well, she only
lost.
got 1, right? Technically?
Yeah, 1.
So she's still kind of standing.
Yeah, it is not the most painful thing that has happened to you today
Today.
by a long shot.
Oh, shit. I'm going to take Drain here. I know it.
Yeah, can you roll Drain for Dragonfly and let us know what
Yeah,
his
I knew that spell would come at a cost. Yeah. Oof. Snaps his fingers. Bang! Viv is knocked back. Lux is shuffled.
Can't believe you
And
shuffled
it's
me.
just like he did not see this coming, but the drain hits him hard. And his next step sort of trips a little bit. His ankle kind of rolls.
dish.
You're just resisting still, right?
Correct.
Did you have any cumulative?
Hey!
1 hit.
So you got it down to 3.
Oh, wonderful.
Viv.
Viv is kind of rubbing the spot where the needle hit her with one hand. And she's just like, oh, we're going to have to talk about this later. And clears her throat. She rests her arms by the sides of her body and crosses her arms in front of her like they're scissors. So Dish also crosses her swords like they're scissors toward Kit Kat. Viv yells, call them off!
Kit Kat doesn't act for a little while.
But she lowers the scissors down toward Kit Kat's face, but doesn't do anything.
All right. Lux acts next.
You're on the boat with me.
I have one more med kit. Could I get to her and use the med kit in this turn?
I would.
Or can I just get to her and stand in front of her?
How far away is everybody imagining Lux has stumbled?
A few steps.
Yeah, I don't think it was super far because it was
He wasn't
a
affected.
grazing hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're close enough to get to Viv and do whatever you want.
Okay.
Let's say that. Sorry.
So I'm just going to use my other med kit.
Oh,
This is the last one I have. It's one level lower, so I'll be rolling one less dice.
Good, because I'm loading up another narco jet.
Yes, we'll just play this game until I'm out of everything.
I would also say that maybe this one does take you are -1 success.
Okay.
Just because it's you're like healing something that has already just been healed.
Sure.
Like there's reduced effectiveness.
Okay. So I got 4 hits, but I'll be taking 3 stun back, and I will stand in front of between her and the mage. I'm sure he has
more
spells that this doesn't matter for, but I'm trying to stand between her and the rest of the gang.
So you want to shield Viv.
Yes.
Okay.
She's yes.
Sunshine.
Ooh, good.
Ooh, bad.
I know Kit Kat has taken damage. Has anyone else?
Not on my
No.
time.
No. I mean, other than Viv.
But Lash, I tell you right now, you need to roll a defense.
Two more.
Shit. Huge pool. All right. Sunshine manages to steady herself, continue walking towards you, and she is still shooting at you with her submachine gun. She is getting closer, and her accuracy is getting better. 4 hits to you.
And my roll, I got 3 hits, so that's a hit.
Add 1 to the base damage value of the gun.
9.
Roll your soak roll.
So, luckily, I have 11 hits.
How is that?
Because my body plus my armor it's 17, and I got 11 hits.
Confirm. She did get
How
11.
the fuck?
That's awesome.
I've never gotten 11 hits on anything.
No, but I mean, I would assume I have a limit on that, right?
No, that's your
Yeah,
armor.
body, right?
Pretty nice armored varsity jacket. And it looks pretty nice too.
There is no limit on this test.
Ooh, yes, Lash. What's up? That's what's
So
up.
it doesn't. So I don't take any damage. It hits me, but I don't take any damage.
You appear to be bulletproof.
When you roll 11.
And then I look directly in Sunshine's eyes and say, "It must be the thighs." I can't get over the thigh comment.
So Kit Kat is staring up at the face of his teammate who has just closed 2 swords around his neck. I don't know if did Viv say
he said call them off.
call them off loud and she shouted that basically. And I believe he is holding 1 gun pointed at Sunshine and 1 gun pointed at TK.
Correct. He's beginning to panic a little bit.
I would be too. This is confusing.
He looks at, he turns a little bit. He assesses the battlefield. He sees what's going on. He looks at Dish and he says, "Dish, you better tell me that you're in there. You better make me believe you're in there right now." Can she talk?
She can talk. She's not holding her breath anymore.
Okay, I can't move my arms. I couldn't breathe before, now I can't move my arms. Someone's got my hands, I'm like a puppet.
It's like the Tiny Tim disease.
Being from England is a disease to you? Wow.
Well, you're like, I can't move my arms.
Yeah.
I got a spell on me, I do. Kit Kat says, "Oh, Dish, you're breaking my heart." And he shoots her in the face.
All right, that is not what I expected.
Didn't expect that.
Oh, Kit Kat.
You're just
what
gonna have
the
to-
fuck?
Holy shit.
I'm gonna have to roll friendship for that one.
Harsh.
I love that you have to roll for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Here,
The
let me-
Taylor Show. Spin off. Oh, no.
I'll roll for Dish.
Yeah, that hits.
Dish dodges at 2.
7 hits.
Oi.
Does the gun have AP?
-1.
Okay, hold on.
But does she have armor on her face, Mike?
You didn't call a shot.
I said he shoots her in the face.
Did you take a -4 dice penalty?
Yeah, it's the 4 that didn't roll successes.
So she is gonna take 12 damage.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Oi. They.
She is in overflow. So the shotgun blast cuts through the environment unlike anything. You had heard the thunderclap, the dull thunderclap of the psychokinetic energy before, but that had a distant ethereal quality to it. It issued from the hands of a magician. It was pulled together out of the environment in such a way that it had a little bit of lead up to it, and it was loud, but it was not an explosion. This sort of, I think, to all of you announces that things are now, if things were not serious before, things are now very serious. This is very loud, and you see a huge spray of blood. It's terrible. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is upsetting to see. Dish falls over, and Kit Kat stands there, motionless, confident as ever, not showing any emotion.
He looks at TK and says, I'm going to need you to sit down.
Lash acts next.
So, how far away am I from Kit Kat?
I think you're maybe like 20 feet, 15 feet.
I think I might just want to tackle him
You're
to the
gonna
ground.
run 20 feet?
With a guy with a gun who just shot someone in the face.
I can run very fast.
That's true.
Yeah, there's some number of boat
And I
lengths.
have a huge body compared to his body. And so he just has his 2 guns in front of him. I'm thinking I can run, slam, because I'm behind him, slam him from behind, like on the ground. And kind of do a, what's that when you grab someone from behind and you fall on top of them?
Spear them?
No, is
Tackle.
that called
Are you trying
He's
to
a
tackle
tackle.
them? Or like
Oh,
a-
that's called a tackle.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Where you grab them. So
A hug.
a hug.
But mean.
Fast hug.
Mean
Yeah,
hug.
From behind.
But hoping to kind of grab control of his arm so he can't
You want to tackle him.
I want to tackle him. That's the move I want to do.
If you can describe to me a way in which, and I'm expecting you to be honest here,
Yeah.
because maybe Lash is so angry that she doesn't think this way. But I think if this is in any way a gymnastic move, if there is a kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, artfulness to it in the way that, say, was the clam flip possessed,
Sure.
then I think this is a gymnastics test. But if you think that this is just straight, she just wants to run and tackle this guy, I think I might have you roll strength plus agility.
I think she's far enough away that it doesn't make sense to do a gymnastics roll for this. I think just a straight strength plus agility. Would my natural athlete skill come into?
Yeah, you're running. You're gonna sprint, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
book it. Yeah, that's natural athlete.
That'll be enough to take away my moon modifier at least. So strength plus agility?
Yeah, so roll strength plus agility.
Okay.
And Kit Kat, you're gonna roll reaction plus intuition.
I got 3 hits.
2.
Following not long after, the loud report of the sawed-off shotgun in Kit Kat's hand is a very dull yet satisfying thud of Lash connecting with him. You, I don't think, do any damage, but you have successfully, you are now rolling around on the ground with a dwarf that is covered in munitions.
Lash is pretty upset, but again, it's more disappointment in the fact that she didn't get the shot just because she isn't fully thinking through. She kind of thinks of Viv as very indestructible, so she's not even really thinking about the effect that she did, and she's thinking, oh shit, Luxe is gonna be mad at me because I just kind of undid his job. But when she sees Kit Kat shoot his teammate, again, she doesn't know that this controlling action is going on, I assume, because it's pretty, I don't know what's going on. From what I see, these teammates going at each other, and then one teammate take his other teammate out with a gun, a thing that Lash does not mess with. And she's just overcome with this feeling. She can't really understand it, but with just rage for Kit Kat. And funnels all that energy. All she can think to do is just run straight at him.
Kit Kat, what's it like?
1 second, he's standing there thinking about how he's going to wound TK bad enough to take him out of the fight without killing him. And the next, he's in the air.
When Lash connects with Kit Kat, he drops both of his guns. and they slide in the dirt away from him. You are now essentially in a grapple with each other, and you do not have either of the weapons that you were previously holding. TK, one is at your feet. The other one is like off a couple yards, not near where anybody is currently standing. The next person to act is TK.
Yes.
So here's the thing, like TK is like, it's been a stressful day. He's like, you know, and it's been like weirdly emotional. He saw Lash fucking shoot Viv, and like Viv almost go down, and like, you know, then he just saw this guy shoot his friend who he doesn't even know their name. Like he's like he goes into a state of just like emotional overwhelmedness. Like he's just like his mind shuts down, and I think he goes into a berserk rage.
All right.
I think he's just like, he can't, like, there's not like, which what it does is it
this is a thing, right? This is a thing that you have.
Yes. So it says the adept passes melee berserking and delves deeper into a frenzied mental state, gets +2 to everything physical, -2 everything mental, and the duration is magic times 4 minutes. This is a 20-minute thing. And he can exit the test early, but he has to do a test to get out of it. So he's just shut down. And it's a complex action, so I guess that's his turn. So basically, like, he picks up the gun, and it's just like his mind blanks out.
All right.
Scary.
But like, I don't think anybody else knows what's going on or what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think if anybody were to look over at TK at this moment, it looks like
it's like his eyes have just rolled back into his head. He's just gone. He hit his like emotional overflow boxes.
maybe a thing to add to the game.
Yeah.
So I guess he has the gun also, I think, because can you do a simple and a complex?
I would let you take it up. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna. I care very little about, like, I won't let you do 2 very complicated things in one round, but like a number of free and simple actions, as long as it's not 2, I don't really give a shit. Yeah. So now we're looping and we're back to the top of the order. The people who will act before we re-roll initiative are Dragonfly, Dish, Viv,
I don't think
Luxe,
so.
and Sunshine. Right, I will put a little X around Dish.
Opa.
Rip.
No, nothing for the Opa?
Actually, now that we have a moment at the loop of the turn,
When you break a dish.
can we
Go
get,
ahead.
Can we get some Fs in the chat?
Let's get some Fs in the chat. Pour one out for our fallen non-comrade.
How do we think Dish got into this line of work?
I don't care. I don't think it matters.
Do you think she just likes gossip too?
Maybe. I think that she was drawn in by the fashion, and I think that she fancies herself rather stylish.
fancied?
Fancy.
Past
Yeah, I mean, you know, she's still got maybe another combat round, another turn left of life until, yeah. Anyways, this is getting dark real quick. What's Dragonfly up to?
Dragonfly hears the blast and thinks, oh God, the worst has happened. But he's wrapped up in, he's trying to cast this big spell to finally settle this thing with the mage in the boat. He's trying to hold it all together, and he looks to his left and he sees his girlfriend, Dish.
Didn't have to do it like that, man.
He sees Kit Kat on the ground, and standing above Dish is TK with a shotgun.
I mean, this is bad for TK because his magic resistance is way down because all of his mental attributes are -2.
And he's torn for a moment from running to help Dish and from his mission, which is to stop the mage at all costs. But the spell's already being cast. He's already in motion. He's already going to blow the boat apart. But what he can do is focus all of his rage, his surprise, his shock, his sudden wall of hatred, focused like the tip of a needle on Viv. And he reaches in his coat and he pulls out a big brick of cinnabar. And he holds it in his hand and he passes the magic through it. And it's not a snapping his fingers this time. He holds his hands apart almost like he's about to perform a blessing, and then he slams them together in a big clap.
I have a question. Is this line of sight?
It's line of sight, but it's area.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
both of
blast
us,
again,
babe. It's
but
both of us.
It's a big one.
What's Cinnabar?
It's a reagent.
It's like orichalcum, but not quite as powerful.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, certain practices require certain materials.
I'm gonna say he uses all the cinnabar.
Wow.
like all right.
So a force 1, but 10 drams of cinnabar.
Fuck.
All right.
Y'all.
Jesus, man.
All right.
Jesus.
You guys are gonna roll reaction plus intuition to dodge this area effect.
Oh, that's bad.
Well,
So Taylor, your limit is effectively 10.
oh my God. The most.
8 hits.
Fuck.
His hand that was holding the cinnabar is smoking, and like the smell of roast pork kind of feels.
Oh boy.
This is getting gruesome.
Viv, what did you roll to dodge?
7.
Lux, what did you roll to dodge?
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So what is the damage on this spell?
All it says is stun.
So I think you do whatever the net hits in stun damage are.
He still has to drain also.
All right.
You resist drain on your single force.
Yep.
And you always resist a minimum of 2. You roll your reaction plus your intuition,
Done.
Done.
force plus net hits, and then you resist with body plus armor. So force was 10. No, force was 1. So 2.
All right, so that's just 2 damage.
So now she has to resist it.
Right.
Right.
And so I had 2 hits on the soak roll.
Okay, so you take no damage.
Fuck.
Fucking real.
Lux, now you roll your body plus your armor.
10.
Okay, neither of them take any damage.
This is the first time this is broken in our favor, by the way. Like every other time, it's like we don't do any damage.
Dragonfly, he's trying to just blow them off the boat into the water and, shake their minds apart. Claps his hands. His hand bakes the cinnabar and it begins to cook. And he sends this wave of destruction exploding at the bow of the boat.
I think what happens is Dragonfly makes a conscious decision that he's going to focus on Viv, and that he makes a conscious decision that he's gonna put all of his hate and fear and worry about Dish, and he's gonna direct it directly at this mage. He's gonna finally finish off this person that he's taken as his target for this entire fight. But there's something at the back of his mind that he just can't let go of his worry about Dish. He can't bat it away. He can't let go of it. And like magic is a deeply focused process. He can't get to the place that he needs to. And so he puts as much oomph into it as he possibly can, but his will is just elsewhere. And Viv and Lux, I mean, you guys feel a strong breeze.
I've choked.
And at this moment, the clouds break and it begins to pour.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Viv.
Well, now that she's lost Dish, or whoever that was, she didn't know, she doesn't have to focus over there anymore. Now she focuses her attention on the mosquito that has been attacking her this whole time. She still stands behind Luxe because she's half naked. She sort of reaches another hand over Lux's shoulder and just says the word "you" and casts a power bolt, force of 3 at Dragonfly. He's on his knees, right?
Yeah.
He was on his knees. So that's going right for his head.
This is the microwave spell, right?
This is the microwave spell.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to have another melted man.
Got a jellyfly.
So I still have 2 wound modifiers. So my dice pool has been reduced to 10. Ooh, we got 2 hits. Pose his body.
1 hit.
At a force of 3, I resisted my drain, I think. I had 2 hits.
Dragonfly, you take 1 box of physical damage.
That's all?
That's all. See, this
Does he
is...
smell anything? What does he smell? Is it Vienna sausage?
Bruh.
In the past, when Viv cast Power Bolt, she had a riot in her mind. Today, she didn't necessarily have a riot in her mind, but she was like physically tousled and shot with a dart. So she's tired. She's tired, but she has a little bit more focus than usual. And so when she puts her eyes on her target, she imagines their insides. She imagines the x-ray of his skull. She can see like his jaw moving and clenching and see the brain moving a little bit. But, it's like trying to light a fire inside somebody.
Dragonfly, it kind of burns in your guts a little.
Got those bubble guts.
He's having a bad time.
Some indigestion.
This poor guy has been through a lot in a very short amount of
Yeah,
time.
holy shit.
Next person to act is Lux.
Lux sees that something has changed dramatically with this mage. And he looks very silly, and he has been behaving very silly, but now, all of a sudden, he fell to his knees and is at the verge of tears, and he's shaking, and he knows people, and he knows that this person who just got shot in the face was very important to this man. He also can tell that because he didn't go running after Kit Kat, he thinks that somebody else was responsible. He turns to Viv and he says, "This mage cares about this woman who just got shot by their leader. He needs to know who did it."
Tell him. He won't listen to me. I'm his target.
Can you astrally project with him, or is there a meeting space in the clouds? I know.
Has to be mutual.
Oh, right.
I can sense and I can fight in the astral plane.
Right.
But I don't think he will want to meet me in a friendly way on the astral plane, considering what he's done so far.
Okay. So I turned to the mage and I said, "Did you just see that? Did you just see that the guy that you're taking orders from just shot that woman in the face? Why would you work for someone like that?"
Roll charisma.
Not a con.
Not a con.
Just like how
Just a good point.
Oh, 4.
Whoa.
Dragonfly turns around after hearing what Luxe is shouting at him from the boat and tries to take in as much of the situation as he can and begins to have a little bit of a crisis of confidence in what he thinks is going on.
He was already confused, but he did see TK standing over the dead body with the shotgun. And yet, the force of personality from this asshole, this Chad on the boat, is getting through to him.
From where TK is standing and where the body has fallen,
On second look, not everything is as it appears. And things are confusing, and he does begin to doubt.
the next person to act is Sunshine.
What are you gonna do, Sunshine? You gonna spit your gum at me?
The last thing that Sunshine did was attempt to shoot Lash, who appeared to be bulletproof.
Yes, and as Sunshine follows Lash with her submachine gun, but when she's on the ground, she realizes that if she takes a shot at Lash now, she could hit Kit Kat. But fortunately, there's another target right there, and he's already holding a shotgun. She unloads on TK.
Little does she know, he's in a rage.
4 hits.
I only got 3 hits.
Whoa.
You see this tall, black trench coat, armored vest wearing, gun wielding lady with this severe haircut and giant mirror shades walking towards you in these giant spiky heels, and she's just letting loose.
And so she got closer to TK.
She's walking towards you.
Yeah, so he doesn't even he turns toward her, but doesn't even register that she's shooting a gun at him. Like, he's this far gone.
Puffs of dust.
And he's
going
just
up
like,
from the ground.
he turns toward her and starts like walking toward her and speeding up. That's her face is the only thing he can see.
It
and
is.
He's just a point of again, so emotional that he's blanked out. There's no telling what he's going to do.
The sun is set. The area is lit entirely by municipal LED lights. It is pouring in the middle of this empty lot covered in garbage. There's a dead woman on the ground. There's a nearly naked mage on a boat. And these two people are walking, facing off one another like they're in the town center in an old Western.
Yeah.
Yes.
The glint of your arm is catching some distant street lights, and the glint of her glasses is catching the same, and you are walking towards one another.
He's just again, the gun is not even registering.
As TK and Sunshine face off at one another and are slowly pacing towards one another in the downpour, about to rip each other limb from limb, about to riddle each other with bullets, who knows, you hear a nasal, whiny, puttering, whirring sound approach from the direction of the Mrs. Egg, and it is now loud enough that indicates that the drone that Gabe has cobbled together in the last maybe 15 minutes, a project that he had lying on the workbench in the Mrs. Egg, that as soon as you radioed for help, he was like, oh, maybe I can put it together. I can put the finishing touches on it in a minute and push it out the door. It's here.
Yes, Gabe.
It is not by any means done.
Half a sandwich on it.
But it's got 4 rotors on it, and you can just make out the IR reflection of a IR camera that is in its front, and you can see that it has a couple arms on it with some implements that are difficult to make out. I'm going to roll for Gabe right now for him to use his cobbled together drone to appropriately understand the situation and pilot it to the right person.
Okay, drone. It's like Gabe's science fair project. He was like, well, look.
Jesus, he's got so many dice.
A really good sign.
And you hear a tinny voice come out of it and say, "I'm sorry. I wish I could have done something. This is what I have. I'm going to do my best."
Thanks, game.
The drone kind of hovers and teeters for a second. You can tell it's having a hard time maintaining its position in the wind and in the rain, but it does make its way over to Dragonfly, and you can see that it is on its way towards the mage. It takes no additional action. The next person to act is Lash.
So what Lash wants to do is on her person, she has climbing gear, and I'm guessing climbing gear includes a rope. So I'm going to take this rope and essentially tie up because she's
I'll
on top
tie
of
that
him.
boy.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's like what we do. We tackle people and we tie them up.
It's just what your people do?
That's what we do.
Okay.
As Shadowrunners.
Oh, it's true. It is something of a theme, I suppose.
Yeah, we did it with Balto, and now we're gonna do it with Kit Kat.
Fun City hog tires.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
That one's a little.
Should I roll body strength?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lash, you should roll strength and logic.
Okay.
For not tying?
Yeah, for like
Okay.
tying someone
Sure.
up, like getting it in the right place, and then you would roll,
Strength and
I think, strength and agility.
I got 2 hits.
2.
Ooh, a grazing tie.
Maybe I just get the arms and not the legs.
You
Tighten a bow.
You successfully get Kit Kat into a position where he is tie-upable. You do not tie him up. You are in an advantageous position.
Right.
Basically, I think what it looks like is you have him pinned down.
Okay.
You have your knees on his shoulders or on his elbows.
Yeah.
And you like have a length of rope in your hand. You're looming over him.
I forgot how to tie a knot. I'm like, do it over, under.
You're holding the rope up in front of you, testing out certain knots, trying to figure out what'll work.
Work on dwarf violence.
Vivac's next.
So Viv sees the drone heading toward the mage, so she's not exactly sure where to aim herself. Oh, what's on the ground?
A dead woman.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just general detritus around.
The swords that Dish was holding are on the ground.
Those
Cool.
are, you are not near them, but they are on the ground.
Would you say that I'm 12 meters away from it?
Just barely.
The hilt is within your range.
Yeah, if this were a movie and, someone were grasping for a gun, yeah, or the edge of a sword, yeah, it's you're one fingertip away. Yeah, you're very close.
You have to lean your head really forward.
Well, this is a really fun one that I haven't tried yet.
Yes.
Try it.
It's a not, the spell's called Catch Type, which is allowing me to quickly yank an individual unattended object. The maximum range is magic in meters.
Dang.
Yeah.
You can yank. You can
I can
basically
yank
like
things.
levitate something or move something towards you.
Yeah.
This is the lightsaber yank.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
is a
is the
lightsaber
pull
yank.
a thing to
Fuck
your
yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Does it fly or does it just travel along the surface that it's on? Yeah, I think
It's a yank.
It's
so
a yank, dude.
All right.
Whatever they did in
Flying's
Star
cooler.
Wars.
Yeah.
This is clearly meant to be
Yeah,
a
this is a Jedi
hashtag
movie.
Disney, hashtag Marvel, hashtag owns Star Wars.
Yeah.
Also-
All right, I love it. Yeah.
Spell.
Yeah.
It's a Jedi movie.
Yeah. Yank a sword into your hands, please.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Okay. So,
Lux, duck.
yeah. So she says into Lux's ear, "You might want to move."
You see the glint of one of Dish's very beautiful, really long, and extremely shiny swords start to vibrate ever so slightly.
Okay, no glitching. I got 4 hits, and there is an object resistance table somewhere.
Yeah, and is it just it's the quality of the object, right?
Yes.
How many hits did you get?
I got 4 hits.
You yanked that object.
So yeah, Viv just readies her hand to catch it, and it just zooms right into her hand. It feels so good.
Dragonfly feels another whoosh of air pass by him as the sword of his former partner.
He gave that to her.
Oh.
His name is carved into the hilt.
Oh, it says, when you get it in your hand, you can see that it says Edward Dragon.
Oh, buddy.
That means nothing because we don't know anyone's name.
Yeah, it's just a
That
cool looking
woman,
sword.
that woman's name was Edward?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Desai.
You're going to be late for that improv class.
They let you miss one.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. 2, you don't get your money back.
No, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Can we have another wizard talk with this guy later, another time?
I want it between him and Jazz.
Yes.
Also. So all 3 of you are in a room.
I love these post-game interviews. Like,
I love.
because it implies that none of this actually happened.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of Jast. I feel like Jast and this guy would not get along.
No.
He gets so annoyed. Wow. Okay.
The next person to act is Kit Kat, who is looking up, rain in his eyes, at the visage of Lash as she attempts to figure out which of the many knots that she knows she will use to restrain him.
I mean, he's going to try and beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, so just take 2 away from your pool
Yeah.
to try to get free.
2 hits.
Oh, I got 2 hits.
I mean, tie goes to the Shadowrunner.
Oh, so again, it's like I couldn't tie you. We're like both in this battle of like we can't do anything with each other.
We're grappling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's what I will say. I think that what happens is, and you can describe how this comes about.
Yeah.
Kit Kat pulls basically like a classic wrestling move.
Yeah.
Manages to get out from in between. Like sneaks out from between Lash's shoulders and waist.
They say that everyone has a Lash and a Kit Kat inside of them. Grappling. Who will win? The one you feed.
It's funny because this is the most Shadowrun possible of the outcomes. Like just 4 straight actions that have gone nowhere.
Yeah.
I guess when I made it a goal of mine to make sure that you were very, very evenly matched to B team.
You did an incredible
You did a
job.
good job.
Did a really great job, actually.
When an unstoppable force meets an immovable dwarf. Sunshine.
Sunshine flips the button on her Praetor submachine gun that turns it into full automatic mode and unloads the rest of the clip onto TK.
This again, huh? He's probably gonna get hit this time. I mean, I don't think he can roll better than he did before.
That's the end of the clip, though. Ooh.
Attacker firing full auto burst. It is harder to avoid. The defending character suffers a -9 modifier.
What?
Sorry, what?
Wait, say this again?
So I just roll one. I roll 1 die then.
4 hits.
Damn, Gina.
All right, roll 1, I guess.
And this is because she went into automatic mode?
No hits.
What is the base damage value of the gun?
8p.
12. Roll your body plus your armor.
Okay.
So this you have a lot of modifiers
7
for,
plus 13, so I'm rolling 20.
Ooh, boy. Oh,
Only
here, we
5
got-
hits.
You take 7 physical damage.
Okay.
right? Physical.
Yeah, has a gun.
Shit.
That's pretty bad for TK.
In the dark, facing off against this woman, you see the muzzle flash very briefly, and then you feel the impact of several bullets enter your body.
Cool. TK doesn't even flinch.
Still in berserk mode.
Sunshine's feeling really good. You can hear the smacking over the rain.
God.
TK, X next.
Yeah, so TK feels himself get like pushed back a little bit, but doesn't understand why, and starts running at her at a sprint. And I think
wait a minute.
I think the first thing he does is
no.
like he just like he's just
I just shot you.
he's trying to just
What are
like
you doing?
do like
Why is everything opposite with you people?
I wonder because I wonder what he would do because I feel like he would like try and punch her and then like club her with it, just like keep punching until he couldn't anymore. Anything.
Full auto mode punching.
Yeah, like I think he's just gonna lean in with the metal arm, I guess, and just so I don't know how many dice it is. That's 12, I think.
But then -2 because you have a wound
so it's
modifier.
10 dice.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if this is gonna work.
As you approach, she was 100% confident that would stop you.
Yeah.
That the full automatic barrage of bullets, many of which she saw enter your abdomen, would slow you down. So she begins to panic. She begins slowly backing away. She
Ooh.
drops that very expensive gun.
6 hits.
Oh, fuck.
TK's about to fuck her life up.
Oh, no. But before she
Wait,
can
is
get
that your
pistol out-
limit?
Yeah. No, my limit has gone up by 2 because of
Oh, okay.
yeah. So his physical limit is
And what was your dice pool?
his physical limit is 6, so he's rolling at limit. Dice pool was 10.
I mean, that's a critical success.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think what's gonna happen is not gonna be good if you don't roll 6 fucking.
Ow.
Yeah.
I got 3 hits.
That just connects. TK at this point has broken into a full sprint, and he's got his arm up and is just leading with it. And he puts everything he has into this punch. In his mind, it's silent. It's not raining. Like nothing else is going on except, he's trying to just hit this person as hard as he can.
I think if you want to say that what happens is you connect perfectly an uppercut that has the force of like a 10-yard sprint behind it.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yes. It is like getting hit by a truck.
Body plus armor?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet she has a lot of armor, though. I don't know if this is going to actually work. Please glitch.
2 hits.
What is your strength?
5 plus 2 is 7.
Plus
Plus
4 from the roll. 11 minus 2, 9. I take 9. Sunshine lifts up into the air and lands splash completely flat on her back, totally unconscious.
I think TK keeps going and jumps on her, like intending to finish the fight.
Her face was sort of slightly twitching, like the way a person who's just been knocked unconscious does. Her body sort of struggles to regain some normalcy. Her cyber eye has actually been jolted out of her socket and is now sort of laying against the side of her head. When your knees land on her torso, her natural eye flutters open, and she can't speak because her jaw has been so dislocated from the punch, but she makes eye contact with you.
And you can feel, when you drop down into your knees, you can sort of feel you sink into the ground a little bit. It's a little muddy. The next person to act is Dragonfly, and Dragonfly hovering above you is kind of like an erector set drone. It has wobbled into the area, and it is buzzing quietly, and it is hovering slightly above Dragonfly, clearly trying to figure out what's going on.
Are you here to help me?
I don't think so.
Dragonfly looks to his left and sees TK on top of Sunshine. He sees the body of Dish lying in the mud, Kit Kat grappling, half entangled. He looks up and sees the drone that is not there for him. He turns around and runs away. Goodbye!
Was that guy one of the bad guys? That guy was a bad guy, right?
I'd like to think I inhabit a lot of complicated moral gray areas.
The drone sort of spins around a little bit and tries to, you can tell that it's trying to figure out what to do. And you can hear Gabriel's voice come out through the tinny speaker. And he says, do you want me, should I follow that guy?
No!
If no one else has any response, then Luxe acts next.
Luxe sees Dragonfly running away. Luxe has no real quarrel with him, so he turns and he sees Kit Kat and Lash are still grappling, correct?
That's true.
So between Luxe and Kit Kat and Lash grappling, is the shotgun still lying on the ground there?
The shotgun is slightly between where Lash and Kit Kat are grappling and where TK is currently straddling Sunshine.
Okay. Was that the one that he was holding?
TK still has one.
Okay. So Luxe rushes over and grabs the other gun on the ground to point at Kit Kat.
Right, you have a gun in your hand.
Yes, and so I'm walking over towards Kit Kat and Lash right now.
The next person to act is Gabe. You see the drone is still not really, you can tell Gabe isn't really sure what to do. It's twisting this way and that, and it is rocking back and forth in the winds of the rainstorm that's beating down on you guys. And you can see it's kind of struggling to keep its position as he tries to pilot it around. Slowly, it kind of stops, settles in one area, and then zooms confidently towards Kit Kat. It hovers over Kit Kat, and you hear Gabe's voice again out of the tinny speaker say, "You leave her alone!" Does Kit Kat even hear this?
Yeah, he hears. they're grappling and they're in like this weird standstill where neither can get the other one to move very much, which is insane considering the size difference between these two.
It really is.
people.
Actually, can we appreciate what like the size differential here?
Well, anyone who's ever wrestled with a tenacious child, I think will understand that just because someone is 3 or 4 feet shorter than you doesn't, sometimes that makes them harder to knock over.
Yeah.
If you've ever wrestled with like a tenacious, obese child, I think you would understand.
No wrestling with TikTok. With TikTok. Oh, should have named him TikTok.
No, you should not have.
Wow.
Kit Kat, he's tensing, he's gritting his teeth, and he says, "If you let me go, I won't kill her."
You're gonna kill me? I don't think so. Ow! How are you finding the weakest part on my thigh? Ow! I have a bruise there from 4 years ago. How did you know?
You got to get more iron in your bruise from 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's like a weak spot.
What are you, the British royal family?
Yeah.
Habsburg?
I don't heal well.
Gabriel, through the mediocre camera on the drone, surveys the scene and sees the dead person who is lying very close to where you two are grappling, and decides that probably the best course of action is to try to end this as soon as possible. So you see a kind of a small little door open on the bottom of it. And it's like this little hatch. Like there was nothing that was holding it open other than like some little screw or a tiny hook. And then it just kind of falls open from the bottom of the drone. And then out of it pops a little arm. And it's like a very similar kind of motion. It's not elegant. There are no servo motors involved. It's like this thing is taped to the inside of the chassis of this drone. And there was some little jury-rigged thing that Gabe was able to put together. And on the end of this little arm that just kind of like meh, out of the drone, you can see a taser. And Gabriel is going to try to tase Kit Kat.
Yes, laser attack, taser attack.
Close enough.
Reaction intuition?
Correct. I got 4 hits.
I got 2.
So, Kit Kat, as you are grappling with this giant woman, you are trying to bring her to her knees. You are trying to put an end to this fight. You turn your back on the drone that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, rightfully so, you are not taking seriously.
Correct.
And
It looks like a child drew a drone.
that's pretty accurate. And you hear a tiny little like, and then you feel a pinch in the back of your left calf, and you hear the loud click of a taser.
Kit Kat flexes his calf, and the pins go and pop out. I take 1 stun damage.
Does it affect me because I'm grappling with them?
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
And also, you're wet. Everything is conducting.
Yeah.
We don't
I'm just
fucking
thinking
know.
about this.
Yeah, actually, probably the drone itself also takes a box of stun damage.
Well, because right? Because what happens when those wires hit ground, right?
Actually, what everybody sees is when you hear the arc of the electricity zapping from the center of the drone, you can see that the lights kind of dim and it lowers a little bit. It gets a little bit closer to the ground as it expends too much energy in order to zap Kit Kat.
Buddy.
And you hear Gabriel go, "Got him!"
The little drone that could.
Lash is next.
Yeah, so every time I keep on getting on top of him and then having to contemplate how to tie him up. Part of it is that I'm used to tying up other orcs. How does that sound?
Hey.
Sounds like the life of an orc.
I don't know what the best angle to tie up Kit Kat just because of his size. So that's what keeps on tripping me up every time I get on top of him. So now we've kind of grappled again. He's like, and she's like, shit, I got to do this again. So she goes again for him, attempting again to tie him up. 2 hits.
Kit Kat gets 3 hits.
As you hold the rope in your hand and you're trying basically to like lasso this tiny man who is darting in and out of like between your legs.
Yeah.
You can't grab him. He's too fast. He's literally less than half of your height.
Yeah.
So it's very awkward. He's giving you a run for your money.
Should have just clam flipped him. Jesus.
The next person to act is Viv.
Viv considers the sword she had just caught in her hand, and she purses her lips, flourishes the sword above her head, and makes her way toward Kit Kat.
This is going to be a pretty epic end to this battle. Jesus. Okay, so you are on your way into the fray, following behind Luxe. Kit Kat.
Oh, fuck yeah. I want to break free and grab my sidearm.
Yeah, do what you can.
Okay, so now does the grapple, do I roll strength and agility?
If you're trying to leave, Kit Kat, I think you're going to roll agility to try to escape, and Lash, you're going to roll strength to basically try to hold on to him.
Okay. It's not much with mine.
I would like to spend an edge.
Do you have any?
I have 3.
Okay, all right.
I
I
got
hate this.
okay. I got 0 hits.
So did he.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 hits.
I got 0 hits.
Trombone sound.
No.
I get a thought. Oh, who won that? Who won that match this afternoon? I just kind of do a matrix search up in the corner of my eye of who won the wrestling match.
Are you
this
looking
afternoon?
at sports scores?
I think Lash is canonically a jock. Like this has been established.
Yeah, you just see her kind of like look up. She was grappling, and then she just can't help but go on every whim that she has. So she looks up in the corner and looks up the latest the match scores for this afternoon. The match scores.
The match scores for the sports game.
For the sports game, she has to.
You want to know the match scores for the sports game? This is a very common desire
Yeah.
in both the present and the future.
Yeah.
Kit Kat, the person who has been trying to subdue you for several rounds now, mysteriously freezes, looks off into the air. You've heard that technomancers are weird.
I've met a few technomancers before. I'm prepared for that. This one's a little high on the techno spectrum, if you know what I'm talking about.
You escape from the immediate control of Lash, but that takes your whole turn.
He still has a huge pistol on his thigh. He pushes away from Lash, and he grabs that pistol. He points it right at her, and he says, "Everybody stop. We're going to play it real cool, or Shrek gets it."
Shrek exists.
Yeah. My question exactly.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I guess it's in the past of this
It's very
timeline.
old.
Yeah.
That's like us making a reference. That's like making a Buster Keaton joke.
Or like a Moby Dick joke. I'd make a
Yeah,
Moby Dick
sure.
joke.
Call me Shrek.
Actually, Lash loves Shrek. She especially loves the end of the first movie where I'll do the "I'm a Believer" dance. She loves that part.
I don't know. Do you think racial politics would weather Shrek well?
Do you want to ask
Well-
that on a podcast?
I mean, people still watch, what's the movie with the Klan? The
Birth of a Nation?
Birth of a Nation in film class.
So you think
Yes, please, let's follow what I said to its logical conclusion.
Shrek
In the
is
year 2100, film classes require you to watch Shrek.
as an example of what not to do and how not to think?
Oh, Mike is very red right now.
We both saw it at the same time. I was insinuating the most insane future. A dragon is president, but Shrek in film class is fucking ego destroying.
There's so many veins popping out of so many foreheads right now. Just for you, the listener, this is pure uncut joy.
Oh, that's the worst thing that's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, try Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, that's TK is next.
I haven't heard any. Like none of this is registered.
Yeah, you're in a fugue state basically.
TK, he makes eye contact with her and then punches her in the head. Fully intending to kill her.
I mean, I'm just gonna. If you want to do it, I'm just gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
That's what he would. I mean, his mind is gone. There's no like governor.
He's just in
This
full.
I'm just to be clear. This is a horrifying thing.
Like you, Bijan.
I like the point. Like this is. I mean, again, I don't want to be heavy-handed about it, but it's like the whole. He's not in control anymore, and this is the thing about TK. It's like when he loses control. This is why he like reads his books. Like this is why he's like trying to master himself, because he really like when he loses control. It is horrifying.
And this was triggered by
Dish getting killed. And then he went berserk. And then
Being
it,
shot
like,
probably didn't help.
didn't help, but he didn't notice it. Like he's like whatever.
if TK were here mentally and emotionally, he would be in an extreme amount of pain.
But he's like and that's like a later TK problem.
Tell us what you do.
He raises his fist again and just makes eye contact with her and then punches as hard as he can.
You feel the bones in her face break.
He's fully intending to like hit the concrete, like the asphalt behind her.
With every punch, her skull gets softer and softer.
Yeah. And that's his turn.
So I just want to check in. Well, I don't know if we'll keep this in. Is everybody? I mean, this is gruesome. Everybody feeling okay? Or do we want to take like a person, like personally, us around the table?
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's gross, but I want to check in consent level style of like we're not going too far. We're pushing an envelope, but like we haven't crossed a line.
Nope. Good.
Okay, cool, great. I mean, not cool, horrifying. The next person to act is Gabe. Back in the Mrs. Egg, Gabe is on the bridge. He has his rigger command console up on one of the work areas. It's this large briefcase-looking object. This is a very, very nerdy comparison. It almost looks like a modular synthesizer.
Sick.
I read today there were the tweets going around of like, what is astrology for men? And the best one that I saw is modular synthesizers.
Oh, man.
Silly.
I thought economics was pretty good, but that's...
Libertarianism is also funny.
Yeah.
Evolutionary psychology.
Evolutionary psychology is the
Yeah.
other one that I saw. Also funny. So he's sitting in front of this thing. It's got a lot of lights, a lot of buttons on it, and he's just...
Oh, it's Myers-Briggs, right?
I think Myers-Briggs is the Myers-Briggs for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of deference to
It was invented by...
Messrs. Myers and Briggs.
It was invented by a woman, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's sitting on the bridge looking at this very complicated piece of machinery that he uses to control the vehicles that he pilots. He is running his hands back and forth where his hair used to be. He's gripping his skull and he's grimacing a little bit, and he's just completely out of options. Gabriel is unsure of what he can do. He managed at the last minute to get that taser into the drone, but now he doesn't have anything else, and he's not even really sure that this thing is going to survive the next 15 minutes in a rainstorm. It's not like he had time to waterproof it. It's cobbled together from all of these parts that he found on the ship and things he just happened to have with him. And so he's going to do the only thing that he can do, the only option that he has left before actually getting out of the boat and trekking to the parking lot, which he's not going to do. He's done getting in fights. He's going to try to just crash the drone into Kit Kat.
Fucking Gabe, baby.
So this is just going to be his pilot aircraft skill.
Now, how far would you say the drone is from Kit Kat?
15 feet?
That's very close.
Yeah, it's close.
How
You
fast
just
do you
got
think
tased.
this thing moves? Yeah, the taser wires would be no more than 20 feet, I guess.
Yeah.
How fast do you think it moves? How fast can it close that distance?
Not incredibly fast because it's a rust bucket
Right.
cobbled together
Is it
thing.
very heavy?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it just feels like 15 feet, doesn't go very fast. Where's the damage going to come from?
Isn't it also falling out of the sky?
Admittedly, the drone is not doing well.
Are you just gonna like cut the power so it just drops to the ground? Just like gravity be on your side.
That's a good idea. Gabe did not think of that, so I think it's not true to Gabe's style.
I like because in the beginning when we called Gabe and we were like, "Oh, Gabe, help us," and he's like, "I have this thing I'm working on." In my mind, it was like some extremely high tech, like.
Deus Ex Machina. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's like it's not ready for prime time, and then this like freaking like toy helicopter comes in.
Jeez.
1, 2,
Yes.
3,
Whoa.
4,
I'm seeing lots.
5, 6,
Yo, what the fuck?
7.
What's your limit,
8,
dude?
This is the
9.
best roll we've
This
ever
is
had.
a critical success, right? Yes, it's a critical.
Yeah, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
This
Rolling at his limit.
Gabriel's limit in this situation is 9.
Oh.
And it's more than half.
critical success.
Woo!
Whoa, it's gonna fall so hard.
I got no hits.
Oh.
I want. How does this play out? I gotta know.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Gabriel, realizing that this is his only option, leans forward over the command console and pulls out a tiny wire, plugs it into the side of his temple, and he previously was controlling this thing via his remote console, just using the controls. Basically, there's like a little joystick there, a bunch of buttons. He's got a little camera feed. Now, he's fully jumped in to this shitty drone. And he sees a very grainy image of a very short man holding up a gun. He can hear him just barely say,
Let me go or Shrek here gets it.
and, there's something about someone treating his new family, and Lash specifically, that way, talking about that horrible, hateful movie that he just loses it, using all of his skill, mustering all of the detailed navigating work that he's done for decades, just pushes the throttle as hard as it goes and runs that drone directly into Kit Kat's chest.
Kit Kat spins around, gets off a shot, and it goes 6, 7, 8 feet wide. His right arm is thrown, and he just leaves his chest and his face and his neck wide open.
Kit Kat takes a Lego drone, essentially. It's heavy, it's made of metal, and it's almost as if the drone itself was ready to no longer be flying.
Yeah, this is Randy Quaid in Independence Day.
Independence Day,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, and you are the alien ship. And it actually, Gabriel, in his expert piloting ability, is able at the last moment to pull the throttle back a little bit and give the drone a little bit of a lift. So it's actually catching you in the sternum, and it picks Kit Kat up just a little bit. Whee! He only takes 1 stun damage. Rude to dwarves.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I shouldn't mock them.
But it launches him into the shipping container that Sunshine was previously hiding inside of. And the rest of you can actually hear, it kind of sounds like throwing a bowling ball like down a cave. You can hear the rumbling of just a metal and many canvas pockets and a shotgun going down this long 30-foot metal hallway. For a couple moments at least, you don't hear anything stirring. We are, at least momentarily, out of initiative. And I will mention, just for convenience, there are doors on the end of the shipping container.
Who's closest?
Who is closest?
Lash.
Get out of me, swamp.
Whoa, nice drone.
Jesus.
You know, I was really close to tying him up, but thanks, Gabe. She goes over to the shipping container. Better shut this door. And Lash shuts the door and says, he was not a nice guy, huh?
It's a little tough. It's heavy. The doors are heavy. These have been abandoned for quite a while, so it's very rusty. But you can get both of the doors closed. You struggle for a little bit to figure out the locking mechanism. There's some lifting and some turning. There are some little pockets that the metal bits have to fit into. But you get it. And do we hear anything from Kit Kat?
The moment those doors shut, you hear thump, 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 footsteps running down the container, and then he slams into the door.
TK has to resist drain at this point.
Oh, because we're out of initiative?
Because we're out of initiative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's resolve that really quick.
TK, since he's a chaos magician, which means, or of the school, means that his magic is inspired by emotions.
Right, because you and Viv are the same sort of magician,
Yes, we are.
and that's when you trained him.
Wait, no, wait. Aren't you hermetic?
I mean, well, it's still under hermetic, but
Yeah.
I channel water, you channel fire.
Yeah.
So many moody magicians in this game.
I mean,
Yeah.
Haven't you read fantasy?
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Bijan, award yourself an edge.
God damn, I knew it.
I'm back, baby.
Yes.
I had used up my extra edge, but now we're cooking with fucking gas. Okay, so I have to, when you exit the state, you have to resist drain, and so I think TK has to resist 3 drain, and I got 2 hits.
So you take 1 stun damage.
1 stun.
What does it feel like when TK gets out of this fugue state?
I mean, I think he just falls over on his face.
He's
doing
exhausted.
anything. Yeah, he's like, I mean, he's still alive. Like, he still has, like 5 health left.
But it would make sense if, as a person, he comes to, realizes what he did, and goes catatonic for a moment.
Yeah, but he hasn't even gotten there yet. He's just on his face on the ground in this woman's blood.
So, I mean, the rest of the team, you guys see your teammate who has been straddling a B team member just keel over. You hear a loud splash, and TK, his legs are still half on Sunshine, but he's on his side, his shoulder in a puddle, his midsection kind of stuck in some mud, and you can see through the rain that there's just a pool of plasma.
Luxe approaches TK. This isn't the first time this has happened, and Lux knows when this happens. TK isn't himself, so he doesn't put down the shotgun. The fact that he's fallen over is a good sign that it's over, but it's a little bit like approaching someone having a very severe seizure or something like that. He is very dangerous to everyone, including himself. Lux approaches quickly but cautiously and pulls TK up. His eyes are closed at this point, so he could tell that the Berserker's rage is over, and he starts patching him up a little bit. This is one of the things that Lux is kind of doesn't really care about much, and he's sort of easy kind of going about a lot of things, but this is something he really worries about TK, because he doesn't know, long term if TK will end up hurting himself or someone he loves when he's like this.
Viv is running up, still with sword over her head, ready to attack somebody, because she is frazzled beyond hell. She has been shot with a dart. She has been lit on fire. And so she's just like darting her eyes everywhere, like, where is this guy?
When you get over to where Lash has just finished closing up the shipping container that Kit Kat was pushed into, you hear the shouts of Kit Kat himself from inside the container.
You're gonna let me out, or you're all gonna die. I can hear you laughing. Let me out, or you're all going to die. Ah! The drone's working again! Get me the hell out of here! Get me the fuck out of this box!
Lash goes to Viv, who's now, I assume, next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Says, Dennis Crayfield won the fight.
And Viv is just staring at Lash like, what language are you speaking?
You have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
She's rested the sword on her shoulder now, and she's just like massaging her temples. This thing is locked.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I turned the knob a couple times to the left, which I think is the way you lock something.
It's locked. You can hear Kit Kat on the other side giving it the best try he can, but it is solidly locked.
I think TK wakes up.
Your hands really hurt. Your midsection burns unlike anything you've ever experienced, and you are covered in blood. You feel very weak. You have a hard time thinking straight, and your close friend and roommate, Luxe, is at a safe distance, but he is looking at you, obviously worried. It's kind of hard to stand. You have jelly legs.
Yeah, for the record, he still does have 5 boxes of damage left, plus his entire stun damage.
Yeah, no,
track.
It's not. Yeah, he's
doing all right.
You can also be perfectly healthy and still.
And yeah, no, his legs are jelly. He's clutching his midsection. He's sort of starting to remember what happened. And I think the first thing he asks is like, "Are you guys okay?"
Lux says, "Yeah. Is it over?
Yeah, it's over.
Are you okay?"
I think I got shot.
And that's when you move your hands a little bit, and Lux sees at least 3 bullet holes in your side. And I know that we're going to go get him patched up, but of course we need to deal with this angry dwarf in a box.
Yeah, so I guess TK just starts walking toward the box.
So you guys are now gathered around
The doors.
You have stepped over the bodies of 2 dead shadow runners, and you are standing in front of a potential future tomb of another.
I think this is when TK realizes he still has a gun in his hand from like that earlier confrontation. And I think he just drops it. He's feeling ill.
It clatters to the ground. The rain has let up slightly.
Is Kit Kat's gun outside of the box, or did that get pushed in with him?
He has a sidearm with him in there. There are 2 shotguns that are on the ground near you, but he managed to hold on to his sidearm.
I think TK yells at the box. He's like, "It's over. That's it."
A gunshot hits the inside of the door.
And you hear a little like dunk, and you see the door move a little. Is that safe to just...
No,
it would
ricochet.
It would ricochet.
That's a terrible idea.
No, ricochet dangers are overrated. Like it's overestimated. It's not. They don't work like in action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
There's no like...
That's also... That's true, but also... Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
I think...
Let's try to keep it grounded, okay, y'all? Shrek is being taught in film school. There's a dragon president. Let's keep it grounded and slow. Thanks.
I think...
We could investigate the physics of if you...
I think TK just turns to them and says, "Do you want to just leave him? Do you guys just want to leave him in there until he's cooled down a bit? Because I'm rapidly bleeding."
I mean, part of Lash does not want to kill another shadow runner, yet a third one.
Lux talks to Kit Kat, and he says, Listen, stop firing your gun. It's not going to do anything, okay? We don't want to kill you, all right? But what I need from you right now is just your assurance that this is over. You're done. You failed this mission. That's bad, I know. But you're not going to be coming after us again.
Do you hear us, Kit Kat? Kit Kat, can you hear us in there?
Are you still by the door?
Yeah, I'm still by the door.
He's whispering through the little crack of the two doors.
Oh my God.
Let me out of this box right now.
Kit Kat, I know you're not normally in these types of situations where you're not the one in power saying the rules, but you have to realize that the tables have turned here and we are the ones who have the upper hand.
You let me go. I'll tell Combinatorial. You skip town. You're out of here.
I think we should just go back to the boat because it's right there and just come back when he's ready to talk.
But a good note that Jen just brought up, his comlink.
Oh, we can hack it.
Yeah, should we do that?
Yeah.
Young lady, I need you to listen to me. Now, you don't know what kind of trouble you're in. Right now, Combinatorial is already looking for other Shadowrunners to hire to come after you. Now, do you want the whole Shadowrunning side of the city to meet you every Sunday afternoon like we did? How many times can you do what you did today? One day you're going to fuck up and you're going to end up in the box. Or you let me walk out of here and I tell them you're gone. Maybe I buy you a day, but it's better than the other way.
So what do we do with these two bodies?
You guys would know that the deaths of Shadowrunners are rarely, if ever, investigated by the NYPD and are only investigated by the security forces of the corporations that have hired those Shadowrunners because those Shadowrunners represent an investment. And if those people die, then that means that they're out a bunch of money and they want to make an example of the person who has cost them the pretty penny that they have maybe paid half of a contract up front, et cetera, et cetera. So these were people they were training, whatever. NYPD and some of the corporations actually have dock wagon style cleanup crews that just basically come and clean up dead bodies.
They sweep around.
And if it's the result of a shadow run, and if the victims are only obviously Shadowrunners, rarely anything happens of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is not fun. It's not nice. It is gruesome, but it is a facet of the world that you live in that the bodies of criminals litter your city.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, that really puts a dark spin on what just happened. Darker than what just happened.
All right.
I think TK's priority is to heal, but there's a guy in box. We know his buddy who was on the Shadowrun saw like basically everything that happened, ran away. So we can assume that Combinatorial knows already what happened. And so we have a guy in a box. We can leave him there. We can fry his comlink and leave him there. We can, I don't know. It's just, he's sort of penned in. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we should buy ourselves some time, and I think we should hack his comlink, send a message to Ashina saying, I killed the A-team, can't find the files, and then we just fry his comlink.
All right, TK turns to Lash and is like, let's just get it done.
In doing this teamwork test, it's kind of like TK's doing the actual hacking, and Lash is actually just kind of collecting data from the Matrix to kind of feed onto TK so that he can do the actual kind of getting in there. But I'm just kind of collecting things like passwords, this, that, and getting in there.
Yeah, and TK's he's closed his eyes, he's in full VR. He takes his, he sees the guy. He doesn't see the box, but he sees the comlink and the vague shape of the man. And sort of like reaches out toward him and gets inside the device and starts, swimming through his apps and finds his messaging app. And
Hey, Taylor, what other kinds of apps are on Kit Kat's comlink?
Well, he's got Soldiers of Fortune dedicated magazine app, which is really just Soldiers of Fortune articles. Although actually, Soldiers of Fortune was recently told to stick to mercenary stuff, and in response, a lot of their staff quit.
It was really getting way too political in the Soldiers of Fortune.
Yeah. So now it's mostly just sort of affiliate link blogging.
Solidarity with Soldiers of Fortune
yes,
staff.
yes.
It's a lot of videos of tanks, obviously from the manufacturer, like with no actual critical reading of the new products at all. It's very
And
disappointing.
the voice is gone. There's
It's
there's no editorial voice anymore.
But he's got like a grinder, a scruff on there. He's got a health link in there. So there's like an app that's directly tied to a chip that's probably implanted into like his thigh, his
Near a
quads.
major artery?
Yes, his quads. That like so when he works out, he can test all his numbers and everything.
Wow.
And he's got med scanner stuff on there, stuff like that. Like books and books and books about survival and like military field medicine.
Ordinarily, TK would be very interested in all of this, but he's just been shot and is exhausted, and is just like
you're sitting in a puddle in front of a locked shipping container.
just straight. He goes straight for the messages, types out a message to Mo Ashina because they obviously have the same contact information for Mo Ashina.
Yeah, you see there's
it's
a long line like anyone in anyone's comm link. There are a bunch of recently sent messages to Edward Dragon, to Dish, and there is a couple scrolls down, one from Mo Ashina, and you can see the end of the last conversation that they had. And the last thing that you see is that they were arguing about price, and he was arguing that they should get paid 100,000 nuyen for this job, and Mo Ashina just responded to that request with the message, "Get it done."
TK types out, "Job's done. They're dead. Couldn't get the files." Here's the message. What do you guys think?
Luxe says, why don't you just say, no thanks, I got the data, and I got 200. Bye. Talk to you never. Whatever.
Yeah, TK considers that for a second. Is like, better message, and just sends it, and then turns to Lash and says, "Fry it."
You hear the send confirmation of Kit Kat's comlink, and you do not see, at least, it's pretty late at this point, so you don't see any response from Mo Ashina, but who knows?
Yeah.
The message has been delivered.
Yeah, and TK, again, turns to Lash and says, "Fry it."
How are you going to do it?
Lash is going to do resonance spikes, so she's pulling pieces of the matrix. It seems like she's like physically pulling them towards her and condensing them into something that anyone to their eyes would think is a softball, because it is a softball. So she's pulling them in, pieces of sports news that she had saved in her history. She grabs all these pieces of resonance and she turns to the side, does a baseball throw. It's a softball, but she throws it like a baseball and pitches it directly at Kit Kat's comlink, which then explodes.
In Meat Space, you hear on the other side of the closed door a zap and a sizzle and the crackle of a small fire, and you smell the very familiar smell of burning ozone and melting plastic.
TK just gets up and walks toward the ship. He's done.
Lash follows.
Viv just quietly sheathes the sword where her combat axe usually is and walks towards the boat as well.
Luxe is about to turn on his heel to follow them as well, but just turns quickly to the tank and says, cool down in there a little bit. I'll come grab you in a couple hours.
I guess TK just yells back, "Can you grab the guns?"
Yeah, Luxe grabs them.
So you guys head back to the Mrs. Egg?
Yes.
Yes.
What are you taking the guns with you?
Yeah.
Lash doesn't like guns.
TK doesn't need guns.
TK's got enough guns.
Luxe gives the guns to Gabe to see if he needs them for a
Project.
new drone
Ooh.
or something.
So you guys go back on the Mrs. Egg. You guys are back on the Mrs.
TK
Egg.
goes directly to his room and passes out.
Fair enough. When you get back onto the Mrs. Egg, you see Gabe. He runs out of the bridge and he comes to meet you as you're entering, and he says, "How are you? What happened? Is everything okay? Where's TK?"
TK has a thing where TK's fine.
Okay. What happened with that tiny guy and the guy that ran away?
We don't know what happened with the guy who ran away. He's kind of annoying. He may have had to go to an improv class. But the little guy's in a box out there.
That seems like a loose end.
Yeah, I'm going to go see if TK's okay. I might need to patch him up a little bit. He got shot a couple of times.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you need anything.
No, yes. Here's a couple of shotguns.
He takes the shotguns from you and he says, What do you want me to do with these?
Can you use them for parts or something? I don't really like those.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
How about I just take care of these?
Thank you. All right.
He walks out the door that you just walked in, and you hear a light splash of guns being thrown in the Hudson River.
Great.
Gabe, I gotta talk to you about that drone you built.
Listen, it was short notice. It was the best I could do.
I thought it was awesome.
Yes! He goes up for a high five.
Yes, and Lash gives a high five.
You all look very frazzled. So I will ask you how the Mo Ashina job went tomorrow. Fun City will return on Friday, March 13th.